Hello and welcome to FP Direct. I'm Farooq Patafi. Today we are going to talk about Donald Trump and his potential nomination for the presidential run, right? And it seems more and more likely that he's going to actually win the nomination one more time. And then we see that certain people in media, certain intellectuals really lose it. It is important to remember what are you worried about and how to handle it. There are two aspects that are there. One, Donald Trump is a human being like anybody else. In 2016, also, he used this fear and outrage to seek more attention. And because of that, media kept on giving him the kind of attention he needed, and eventually he ended up winning the election, right? No matter how many other conspiracy theories we actually use, the fact is that he won an election. So it is important not to give him the kind of attention out of your attention economy, so that he doesn't become something as big as he was in 2016. But second thing is, what are you worried about? Is it the person that you don't like? I mean, nobody is, what your total hate or total love, right? All human beings have flaws and they have some positive sides also. So, what exactly are the bad things that happened during Donald Trump's time which should be avoided? The first thing, of course, was this January 6th situation and his particular belief that elections were stolen or there was some kind of manipulation. And that actually takes us to the fact that there were attempts to somehow sabotage the electoral process. What happens now? Those things have actually come in sharp relief. You know, what were the weaknesses of the system which could have been exploited potentially, especially when you look at the recommendation of Rudy Giuliani, that Powell woman, or for that matter, Eastman, right? With people like those, their unhinged, perspectives or strategies also unhinge the system. So it is important to remember that if you can always enhance the quality of the system so that it cannot be manipulated in that way. So right now, there's substantial number of Democrats in both houses, right? And there are like-minded people even in the lower house that might actually be ready to work with the other side of the aisle. So why not make laws or some kind of safeguards so that that kind of situation can never arise? The first thing to remember, always find a way to fix the system rather than getting afraid of what might happen if it fails. The second thing I remember, the biggest fear, and I think that Bob Woodward also actually mentioned it in his book, was the fear that nuclear arsenal might not actually go in the wrong hands in those days, because Trump was listening to unhinged advice, and there were people who might be actually exploring various possibilities of gaming the system against itself, right? I mean, there are people like Bannon, but Bannon actually is not the kind of man who actually wants to harm America. He is the kind of man who actually wants to frighten you that we are capable of doing this, right? Ergo, darkness is good, devil, and whatever he said, right? But there are people who might be interested in sabotaging America. Uh, that's why it is important to ensure that nuclear command system is very, foolproof. I think it is. I'm sure it is because America is the number one superpower in the world, has been for quite some time, and even during Cold War era, there were safeguards that ensured that nothing of the sort happened. But this talk of nuclear football, nuclear button, bigger, beautiful button, they have to actually change eventually. because it is important to remember that democracies or republics, they should not have the kind of blind power in any hand. I mean, I know that there's 24th Amendment, but till the time you invoke it, till the time you use it, is there no possibility that somebody might actually use that system and start a war that actually kills us all, right? So this is the second lesson. And the third one is hate. During Donald Trump, of course, Donald Trump is a politician. He will say whatever actually resonates with people who are hurting. Their angel moms, they are going to be hurt. They are hurt, right? So they are going to be concerned about Mexicans. And of course, not Mexicans, only the southern border and infiltration of people coming from there, right? That becomes a serious problem. Remember that none of this is black or white. There is always gray area. Bad things do happen. Bad things do come in, right? Bad people actually might hurt people as well. There are drug cartels. There are various, industries actually to ensure that people suffer more or that, government is undermined. So it is important to find a way to ensure that those concerns are addressed, that kind of incursion, that kind of inflow doesn't happen. People come legally and they get some kind of, even if they are like, what was the word? The dreamers, right? They get some serious chance. But apart from that, there should be a robust system to ensure that bad people don't come and hurt your country. But based on that, of course, then hate is also, that keeps on increasing as well. Remember, Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. So that kind of things will also happen. So it is important also. And by the way, especially during COVID days and others, the Biden administration has done some incredible work of protecting the RP people, right? But then there should be more robust mechanism to call out hate and to ensure, of course, speech is speech, but to ensure that it does not actually hurt people. And all of this will have to be done in consultation with the Supreme Court of America, with the judges, because if you pass some law and that becomes actually part of the Constitution, that becomes part of the statute book, then you have that these laws actually don't go to the court and they're thrown out. So it is important to have consultation there as well. Nobody in their right mind, conservative, liberal, moderate, right, libertarian, nobody would want your country to be destroyed. So why worry about now a person as a package deal or some kind of pariah? And why not actually ensure that you have the kind of safeguards that are needed, that whatever fear was there in the past does not repeat itself? Having said that, I think that regardless, there are many people who think that because of Gaza, because of Israel's war in Gaza, because of Ukraine, because of other things, Biden administration might not actually win a second term. I don't think that there is any chance of them losing. I mean, have I not been proven right repeatedly? In midterms, also, I kept on saying that you're underestimating, Democrats and their performance. That we saw. Similarly, um, when you talk about overall situation, I think that Democrats have some solid performance, that they can bank on, from economy to climate to healthcare, umpteen other things. Give the devil his due. Trump has also done some very good things. For example, he actually came up with the vaccine, right? But I don't think that there's that easy a chance of Trump just taking over the system. All they have to do, Democrats have to do, is stick with the current ticket, because somehow, Biden administration has repeatedly shown that it can unite people. The only, Latino vote becomes a bit problematic if you lose Bernie Sanders and the progressives, right? But the coalition that Biden administration has rebuilt after Obama coalition is so incredible, and people know that even in Gaza, if you are going to actually replace Biden with Trump, um, remember what kind of powers Netanyahu enjoyed in those days, right? But that kind of situation, I don't think that it is very easy to defeat Biden administration, Biden ticket, Biden Kamala Harris ticket. They are ace candidates. Now you can talk about age, you can talk about blunders or mistakes or grumbles, but honestly, they are very good candidates, and you can actually believe this because all these ups and downs in numbers, there are countries that keep on expecting. Israel is expecting also, by the way, that America will, unconditionally support and not pressure it, Israel to restrain its action, right? But that doesn't happen. So they must be pissed also. But on the other side, of course, the other side also is always very agitated and ready to punish. So all these numbers are temporary numbers. In the long run, what counts is welfare for the people, job numbers, inflation that should come down and is coming down, infrastructure that Biden administration has really invested, and umpteen other things that have been done. So with that kind of situation, I think that Democrats don't need to worry about the circumstances in coming days, or some kind of failure in coming days. But yes, even if the impossible happens, even if Donald Trump is back in power, right, at least has a plan B to ensure that your system cannot be actually manipulated or sabotaged by rogue elements. This was today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.